Hi friends! Forgive the drabness of this background. I still haven't figured out how I want to set this room up. I think I need to paint these walls because this dark gray seems to just make everything look a little more depressing. So yeah, still trying to figure that out. Not important, not the reason that we're here. And actually this is kind of a different video than I originally planned. I had intended to come on here and talk a little bit about my next song that's coming out and the background of it because it is mental health related. I sat down and I just think it's time to catch you guys up with where I'm at with everything and tell you more about where I've been, my headspace recently. So let's do that. 4 out of the last 5 years, I have been on a release schedule where I release 1 song a month on average. But there are a few significant things that have changed over the last year. The first one is that I no longer live in Nashville, which is where the studio that I record in is. And theoretically, I could probably find another studio where I am now, but I couldn't imagine working with anybody other than Daniel. I've worked with him for my entire career. So what I've been doing is usually a couple months on and then a month off, I've been going up to Nashville to record. It's about a 4-hour drive. I usually stay for 4 nights. And it definitely has a much different vibe than when I was living 25-30 minutes away and I could casually schedule recording days. They didn't have to be in a row and there could be some flexibility on if I had to change them. Living out of town, I really have to schedule these trips and it is definitely more of an ordeal to make these trips up to Nashville to record. So that's been a lot. In addition to that, I have talked about this before, so I know I sound like a broken record, but especially over the last 6 months, I have really seen my streaming numbers, particularly on Spotify and YouTube, really take a nosedive more than I would have ever anticipated. Previously, I know I've had periods of time where I've talked about a song or maybe a couple of songs not performing as well as I expected, but this has been an overall across the board, just everything declining. And I don't want it to seem like I am obsessed with the numbers and that's all I care about. I am so appreciative of, and it means so much to me when I see y'all's comments on my videos, on my songs, and saying that they have meaning to you. That is everything to me. That's the reason that I do this. It's the most important thing, to feel like I am making some kind of positive impact on the world. But from a business standpoint, really the only way that I have to gauge whether or not what I'm doing is working is by the data and the metrics, because that is the bigger picture thing rather than the individual impact. So having those analytics and that data show the decline it's been showing has been really disheartening, because I would like to be able to do this as long as I can and I'm not ready to be done. And I don't want to feel like that decision is being made for me. And I believe one of the reasons it's been so impactful on me mentally and has just been chipping away at me is because with most artists, the way they release music is they'll have an album or an EP, and maybe they'll do some singles sprinkled in here and there. But if something that they put out isn't as successful as they want it to be or they thought it was going to be, that feeling of just disappointment and failure only comes a couple times a year. But for me, since I have been doing a song a month, every single month I have the anticipation of being really hopeful that the song that I've poured all of this love and all of this time into is going to maybe be the thing that sends my career to the next level, or even just gets everything back on an upward trajectory. And every month having that letdown is really hard. That, coupled with just the logistical challenge now of getting up to record in Nashville, I think I could justify that if it was working, but the data and the numbers are telling me that that format is not working anymore. And that's fine. I've been doing things the same way for several years now, so it's probably time for a change. And I don't quite know yet what that's going to look like, and honestly I hadn't planned on telling you guys that until a much later time from now, but it's taken up a lot of my headspace recently, and so I figured I've always been very transparent with mental health stuff with you guys, and so I feel like I wanted to let you guys in. So here's what I know it does mean. First of all, this break that I need to take, or pulling back, or whatever we want to call it, it's not even going to take effect until like the middle of next year, like the second half of 2023, because I already have 2 more singles coming out this year, and then I do have 1 song per month planned for the first half of next year for a project that I will share later. And you may be asking like, okay Beth, well if it's really that bad, why are you not taking a break until almost a year from now? Well, first of all, because I already had this project planned for a while and I want to see it through, and also because I want to feel like if I'm going to take a break and it's, you know, motivated by a decline in numbers, analytics, whatever, I want to know that I've done everything I know how to do to right this ship. So for the next 9 months or so, I am going to be throwing everything I have at this new music, and I will be able to come out of that saying that I did everything I knew how to do. And for a while, my plan was, well, if, you know, this project for next year really turns things around, then like I won't take a break. But I think I just need to anyway. I think I just need to slow it down and retool some things anyway. I've been thinking a lot lately about the book that I wrote that I finished the manuscript of almost 3 years ago and half-heartedly queried, but didn't really give it my full attention. I would really like to go through, do some editing, and give querying an actual real chance before I decide to just publish it independently. And I keep saying that I'm going to do that, but then I keep having new music projects, and so I want to give myself a little bit of space and time to refocus on that. And I think it's just gotten to a point where it makes more sense to me, especially living out of town from where I record, to look at doing either more spaced out singles, potentially some like EP or maybe even album project. I don't know yet, but I've got a lot of time to figure it out. So like I said, I at least have, 8 things coming out before this break that I'm going to take, but I just wanted to clue you guys in on where I've been at, because I feel like I've been less present on my YouTube channel especially. I haven't been posting as much as I used to because I haven't been in a great headspace, and one of the consequences of that is you just don't really feel very motivated to do things that you normally enjoy. So I haven't been doing as many like mental health chats or cover songs or revisiting some of my old songs. I just haven't been able to muster up the will to do it. But I do feel like I'm starting to be able to come up for air a little bit with the prospect of being able to take a little bit of a hiatus. So I think it's gonna be for the best. So now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you about my new song. So I have a new song coming out. It is called Two-Faced, and it feels like maybe one of the most me songs that I have ever written. The idea for it came from the place that I've been in mentally, where I have these moments where I'm like genuinely like around people and happy and having a good time in that moment, but also like have this like greater picture depression that I'm in, and trying to reconcile like how can it be both? Like how can I feel like I am having like a depression episode, but also within that still have these times where I do feel happy? And being somebody that I think sometimes people are surprised to find out that I have clinical depression, because I like seem like a happy person or an upbeat person or a positive person. So the idea of like what a person who has depression looks like or is expected to act like really factored into this song. But the thing I love about Too Faced is that it is a song full of these very like kind of sarcastic, depressing lyrics, but wrapped up in this pretty package of like upbeat production, and it just feels like me if I were a song, which I guess technically it is because I wrote it, but like it is the embodiment of me in a song. It is called Too Faced. It is going to be out October 19th, and I'm super excited. I've actually got some merch for it. I will show a couple of pictures here. It's got the first line of the song is, "I've always been a little sad. Good thing they make a pill for that." So I knew immediately when I wrote it that I wanted it on a t-shirt, and so I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link if you want to order the merch. I know the song doesn't come out for another week, but the merch speaks for itself. I already have one of the shirts, and I think I'm probably gonna order myself one of the hats, because that is the first time that I've done a hat, and it's got the little pill bottle on it, and I think it's precious. So that is what I have going on. Overall message, and really what I wanted to come on here to tell you, is that I have been going through a rough time for a while, and it seems like every time I'm having an especially dark moment, I get a comment on one of my videos from you guys that is so inspiring, or a message that just makes me really recenter myself and remember why it is that I do this in the first place. And so you all have kept me going through a difficult chapter recently, and I just want to thank you for that and tell you how much I love and appreciate you guys. So I hope that you are excited for the new song and the upcoming exciting things, and I hope that you understand why I need to take a step back after I'm done with this project, but we've got a lot of fun things coming before that happens. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!